We're at the NMI Museum here in Saipan. This is Untethered, where we live stream the world. And we need to do some real introductions today. We have any person. All right, I'm Wesley Green.
And I'm Scott B. Smith.
And I'm Erica Baker.
And I'm Archie Acosta from the NMI Museum of History and Culture here on the island of Saipan.
Nice. All right, so we have a tour guide. He's going to show us around the museum. And I'm going to look at the camera. How is everyone doing?
Good.
Can't
Now,
complain.
I'm muted so we don't get echo. All right.
So, Hafade and Tiro, everyone. Welcome to the NMI Museum of History and Culture. We're in the heart of Saipan in Garapan. The NMI Museum is situated in an old Japanese hospital that was constructed and served as a hospital in 1926 to the public. The hospital was abandoned on June 15, 1944 with few damages from World War II, and then opened up the museum in 1998 when legislation was passed in 1996. So in the museum, you can see there are name tags on the walls telling you the original rooms of the hospital. So this is the reception area.
Okay.
Here is the administration office and the cashier.
So this would have been the main entrance?
Yes, of the hospital. Now it's our back. So the flying proas right here is essential fishing tool to the Chamorros. They are skilled fishermen and sailors. In Spanish accounts, they said the Sackman is the largest, measuring more than 40 feet and can accommodate to 100 people. It says this Sackman can go from the Marianas to Philippines in 3 to 4 days, averaging more than 20 miles per hour. So the fishermen, they took sea snail shells, oyster shells, and clam shells, and they turned them into fish hooks, tools for everyday use, and spunless beads used as money or jewelry.
How large would that ship have been in real life?
40 feet.
40 feet.
Yes, accommodating to 100 people. Now we're gonna go here. So this is the arrival of the Spanish and Carolinians. Basically, Ferdinand Magellan discovered the islands in 1521. Half a century later, Miguel Legazpi claimed the islands for the Spanish king. In 1668, Jesuits were here, turning the Chamorros into Catholic faith. Queen Mariana of Spain supported the missions, which they called the islands the Marianas. Then in 1800s, sorry about that, I apologize. In the 1800s, Carolinians came from the Caroline Islands because a typhoon destroyed their islands. Before they came here, they have to go to Guam, where they asked permission from the Spanish to settle down here because most of the Chamorros were moved to Guam during the missions.
Now, what's your
Typhoon.
a typhoon?
Yes. So this vinyl here, this vinyl right here, this is the Carolinian village called Arabol. It's located at American Memorial Park, Micro Beach.
That's where they live.
Yes.
Oh, is any of that still there at the beach?
No, none. None at all.
That's too bad.
So the Carolinians took their culture here too. They have their breadfruit pounder. They weave baskets from pandanus leaves, and this is very artistic, where they use shells, turn them into purses.
Now, what's different about the Carolinian culture?
The Carolinian culture, they're more on weaving.
No,
They have their culture dances. It's similar to the Chamorros, but different ways.
different language too, right?
Yes, different language too. Moving on to the ancient Chamorros. Ancient Chamorros came from Southeast Asian islands from 3,500 years ago. So those are lattice stone houses. The lattice stones right here are foundation for their houses. It can be raised 9 to 15 feet high, depending on your social status. So the Magal, no, actually, so there's three social classes in the prehistoric Chamorro society. The Matuas are the high class, the middle class are the Achuat, and the low class are the Manatsan. So basically, these houses are for the Matuas. Yes. So have you been to Calabar Cave, Wesley?
Calabar Cave?
Yes.
No.
They have two of these lattice stone houses there,
Oh, wow.
but modern.
Oh,
What?
The
I'm
real
gonna just-
live one.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go there too.
yeah, I did. Where's that on?
It's just past Bird Island. There's a road going in.
Oh, okay.
And ancient Chamorro potteries right here. Called the Marianas Redwood, dating back to 3,500 years ago. It has filled lime designs similar to the Melanesian and Polynesian potteries. And so this lime over here, incised lime designs, are off from San Roque or the Achigao area in the northern island, the northern part of the island. Years later, they made their pottery more thicker and bigger, called the Marianas plainware for their convenience. They had more rounder bases, and it has holes suggesting that there's a tie for gripping, pouring, securing a lid, or for hanging.
Hmm.
Now we're going to move on here. So the ancient Chamorros, they even use human femur bones as spear points. And these are the three right here. They even decorate them with spineless beads. So you can see the orange one right there, orange bead shell. So they maybe use this for fishing or fighting. Because the ancient Chamorros believed in their dead ancestors' bones. That was their religion before. Then the Spanish came and turned them into Catholics.
Ah. Wow.
So they use the bones of their ancestors for their to make those.
Yes, some of them might be their enemies' bones.
Oh.
That's why they usually secure their ancestors' bones or they bury them under their lattice stone house.
Oh.
So other people can use them. Okay. Oh, now
Yes.
that's kind of
Okay.
awesome. Actually, I love this. Oh
So
wow.
not only the spear points used as was not made of bones, but even right there, the bone needle and the owl.
that bone too.
Yes.
Whoa.
What kind of bone is that?
Human bone.
Oh,
And this adze right here, the big one, it's a replica of Chamorro adze. It's like an axe. It was loaned by Mr. Joe Guzman.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
well, gosh, that had to be like a shoulder blade or a kneecap or something.
Well, I think he's not saying that's not a bone.
No,
That's
that's a
marble.
shell.
Oh,
A
okay.
big
Okay.
round shell.
Okay.
The bone ones are the
The owl, the bone needle, and the spirit
All
one.
right. All right. My apologies. I got them mixed up.
I was thinking.
Dang.
Moving on here. Slingstones. It's called acho atupat, used for warfare.
Mhm.
So this is made of red clay, limestone, or volcanic rock. Said there's two types of shapes. The football shape is for long distances, and the three-sided shape is for shorter distances. Right here we have Chamorro Tools, adze called gotcha, basalt hammerstone called mutizu, basalt pounder called lomok. So they're made of basalt. It volca- uh, can be made of limestone too. And they use woodworking tool made from the Troidacna shell or the clam shell.
Wow. And the tag says AD 900, so those are over 1,000 years old.
Yes,
Wow.
And some people originally right here 3,500 years ago. Right?
yes. Then we have the Kulo shell trumpet. We don't find those big shells like that anymore. It's used for rituals or for fishing. Here is the poyu. It's a chumming device used to lure mackerel to the top surface of the water. It's made of half coconut shell on the top, bottom part is limestone rock, tied to coconut fiber ropes. How they use this was they put crushed coconut on top of the shell, coconut shell. They put it down the water, and with an up and downward position, the crushed coconut escapes through the small hole atop the coconut shell. They see the fish, they bring the poyu going up to the top surface of the water little by little. Once they see the fish on top of the water, that's when they throw the lagwa, the net to catch the fish, just like this picture here.
Cool.
So we don't use the poi anymore in our culture because of technological advancements, the changing world of fishing rods, trawling, and new technology that makes metal fish hooks and
Right,
rods.
right. That right there reminds me of I go fishing over here, and it's like a big bobber, like the little bobbing fishing tackle that you get. And we used to be able to put some kind of attractant that would bring, the bigger fish in, or we'd just put a little fish. Sorry to the minnows, but we put a little minnow on it and then attract them. That's what that looks like to me, just a huge bobber.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys,
it's a lure. It's drawing in a lot of fish at once.
Yes.
yeah.
It's a pretty genius way to catch fish.
So this poyu was found by the historic preservation officer, Mr. Sablan. at the north at the north end of the San Antonio Church
Oh,
during a 1990s archaeological study or dig.
oh, cool. So this was dug out of the site.
Wow.
Wow.
Does it say the age?
No, they just found it in 1990s. But for sure, this is what they use because there's pictures that they have used. And right here, oh, let me scratch. No, not Mr. Sablan, Mr. John Palacios found that. And this is the man of Taga. So they've Hornbostel was contracted by the Bishop Museum to do an archaeological discovery on the islands. So they found a skull near the Taga house. Taga is in the Taga house is located at Tinian Island. So Taga was originally from Guam, then he moved to Rhoda and then Tinian. How he became a legend was that from Rhoda, he lifted those stones to make his own house in Tinian.
Oh,
So these stones are 15, 16 feet high. That's how it became a legend.
that
Huh.
legendary.
Yes. So this is only the cast, but we do have the real boat.
Oh, you're kind of what?
Yes. So the face project of the Man of Taga was done by forensic artist Sharon Long.
Oh,
So you can see the process right there of how she made it.
it says he started out on Guam, then went to Rhoda
And
and
Tinian.
18
Yes.
Saipan.
No. So how they make the bone structure was, or his face was from data derived from fields of study such as physical anthropology, archaeology, and population genetics. Now, so we can't take video in this room, but I'll explain it. It's called the Fresnay collection. So the Fresnay collection. So Louis Claude de Fresnay was given commander of the ship or the Navy French Navy ship Ring that went around the world making a scientific expedition. With him were artists and scientists. So the crew ended up one day in Guam because they were sick, where the Spanish governor of Guam, Jose de Menilida, gave them medical supplies and a place to stay. While they're in the Marianas, they, while they were in Guam, they stayed here there for 3 months, and then they went around the islands drawing what they see. So when they were going back to France, they stumbled into rocks in the Falkland Islands, where the crew managed to save half of the drawings, where a ship that's going back to France saved them. So the 93 drawings from the Fresnay collection, the NMI government bought the drawings from the French government. So it's these drawings right here.
So these were the drawings from the original trip.
Yes.
We can't take pictures of the real drawing. We can take pictures of the book of the drawing.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Look at that.
Now we're going to the German period, 1899 to 1914. Right here. So the Spanish lost the war with the or what do you say this? Sorry, I'm forgetting things. I apologize for that.
I lost the war with us.
Yes, the Spanish lost the war with the United States in 1898, which the Spanish sold the islands to Germans for $4.5 million, and they gave Guam to the United States. So Mr. George Fritz right here is the first district officer that time. He had several experiments and developed the island. So this right here, the German administration building with Ladystone Decker, this is just right down there at Cristo Rey Church,
I don't think I've seen
at the
that.
back of Cristo Rey Church. It was destroyed by the war.
Oh,
Before it, Cristo Rey Church was used to be called Mount Carmel Church.
Oh.
So you can tell it's a German building. See the top right here? It's a German hat. And, and they place a clock there to teach people how to be punctual. But nowadays, it's always island time. So Mr. Juan Itebus was sent by Mr. George Fritz to learn how to make shoes in Jiaoshou, China. Jiaoshou was ruled by the Germans that time. Jiaoshou, China today is called Tsingtao.
Qingdao.
Yes. So Tsingtao is a brewery city.
Mhm.
It's not like, so you guys heard of the Heineken beer?
Yeah.
And then there's the Tsingtao beer.
Hmm.
So you see the Tsingtao beer?
Would you like Hongzhou?
Mhm. The concept of it is similar to, or very similar to the Heineken.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the big Chinese beer.
Yes. And Mr. George Fritz lived on the island. His house is just across the street. At Sugar King Park, there's a stairs there called German Steps that's leading all the way to his house, all the way in the back at Sugar King Park.
I think we saw the German steps, didn't we?
We saw the German steps. We didn't find this. though.
Oh, that's ruined already by the war. That's why it's not up anymore.
The other thing I did not see because we're in the
No. So right here, Mr. George Fritz even established the first local police force consisting of Chamorros and Carolinians. Why he did that? Because most of the Chamorros were moved to Guam. Carolinians were approved to stay on the island, so the Chamorros started coming back groups by groups. So what George Fritz saw was the Chamorros were on one side, the Carolinians were on the other side. They weren't arguing or they didn't have any disagreements, but they weren't engaging. So Mr. George Fritz decided to make the first local police force, putting everyone together so they can share ideas and have intermarriages. Cockfighting grounds. Germans like to gamble.
Ah,
So a lot of people ask me if cockfighting was a ancient Chamorro culture. It is not of a Chamorro ancient culture. It was introduced by the Filipinos who came here during the Galleon times.
Hmm.
But then the Chamorros, they do other kinds of betting. Instead of chickens, it's birds
Hmm.
in the ancient times. Moving on to the Japanese. So the Japanese were here for 30 years from 1914 to 1944. So this is the old Japanese hospital. This is how it looks like.
Yeah.
So you see there's no door before. Now there is.
Oh, I see. It's an art play.
Yes. Now here is a picture of the hallway of the hospital, 1926. So that hallway is right over here. It's right here,
Oh
in the
wow.
green room.
Wow.
So this is the original hospital. Right here, this was built in 1996 to 1998 to use as the museum's main gallery. It was an addition. Yes. So this is a map of Garapan from 1943. Buildings on the top here are from the 1930s, 1940s, and buildings from down here are from 1999 and 1998 to 1999. So, hospital, we are right here. That's the museum today. The Cristo Rey Church used to be Mount Carmel Church before. Do you remember the German administration building? It's right there, where you can still see the bell tower today.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
The bell tower. There's a church there now, but it's not.
Yeah. So when the Japanese came here, they made the German administration building as their administration building too. So they took out the lattice stones, they changed the top part where it's like a German hat, but then they still place a clock there. So the Saipan Girls High School is located right here. This is today it's called well, before it's called Fiesta Resort. Today it's the Crown Plaza. They're rebranding it to the Crown Plaza. And here is, yes,
And it's not still there.
for the sugarcane industry. So here, I want to tell you about this part. Do you know where's this though?
Yeah, the White House up on the hill.
Yes. So right here, this area, this is a Japanese area. They were very secretive about it.
Oh.
So that's why I want to tell you the historical significance of Navy Hill.
Mhm.
A Japanese tourist came 4 years ago, telling me his dad, he has a journal of the dad. He used to work for the secret Japanese Navy hospital in Navy Hill.
Oh.
There were pictures. He has a different map. His map was from here,
Oh, okay.
the secret part. He's here. He's been trying to find his dad's bones. But since the pandemic happened, I've never seen him anymore.
Hmm.
So Japanese hospital was there, right? The secret Japanese Navy hospital. Then when the US came, they made their hospital on more higher on the hill. Then the hospital was constructed at the Northern Marianas College in Astolahe. And now they put back the hospital right here, Navy Hill, because of its historical significance.
The helicopter's taking off there every now and then.
Moving on here. So Mr. Haruji Matsue is called the Sugar King. He brought sugarcane industry to the islands. He graduated from LSU. You can tell he graduated from LSU because all his equipment were Caterpillar diesel.
At LSU,
Yes,
Louisiana.
yes. Because Louisiana that time in the early 1900s, yeah, they focus on agriculture, which is mainly on sugarcane.
Yeah, I think that's still the case today. I think a lot of sugarcane is still grown down in Louisiana.
Yes. So the sugarcane factory is located at the southern part of the island. You heard of Sugar Dock?
Sugar Dock, yeah.
Yes. So the sugarcane factory is just across the street. It's the Mount Carmel Church and School.
Oh.
That's why the shape of the church looks like the sugarcane factory.
Huh.
So the train goes around the island taking sugarcane from the fields. Then they brought it to the sugarcane factory. Well, once it's there, they bring it across the street to Sugar Dock to ship it to Okinawa. Because that's where they process the sugarcane. So we have pictures, but we're gonna get new pictures. It's not up. Yeah, we're still upgrading and everything.
Oh, okay.
And then here, it's a large book written in Japanese and it was given to Mr. Haruji Matsui, the Sugar King, in 1932. So this has the program when they open up the sugarcane to the public. It has the visitors guest list. It has newspaper articles and shoutouts from the Japan government and
Oh.
different businesses congratulating on opening up the sugarcane park.
Wow.
They even have an article from Japan of what company made his statue. They had pictures of it when it was on the ship. They have pictures of a newspaper article on who made it. The people took picture of the statue before it came here.
Yeah, cool.
So this we took it out when Skymark was coming in, the airlines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was placed on top, but now it's deteriorating, so we have to put it back in. But we're trying to, maybe someday we're gonna digitize those.
And this book is from 1932.
Yes,
Some of that red.
yes, from Tinian.
Oh, that's from Tinian.
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't find any rails here anymore, or the train rails, because of the war destroyed everything.
Oh.
But in Tinian, it's here because they had to take it out to make the military base in Tinian for the Hiroshima bombing.
Right. They took it off from Tinian.
Oh, is that right? The Enola Gay took off from there, huh?
Yes, from Tinian.
Tinian's very flat.
Yeah, there's a valley, but cannot lower.
Huh.
Easier.
So these are the pictures during the Japanese times, where you can see the staff of the hospital with Mr. He's the doctor,
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Naburo Okaya,
Oh, okay.
that administered the hospital with his staff, consisted of Japanese and local nurses. And here too, you can see in school.
This is the girls' school
Yes, for nursing.
for nurses.
So during the Japanese times, when the children goes to school, Chamorros can only go until sixth grade. But Japanese, they can go all the way to college. And then the language they can only learn in school was Japanese. No English, no German, no Chamorro, no Carolinian. That's
Hmm.
why the elder Chamorros, if you talk to them, they can speak and understand Japanese.
Wow.
Like right here in school. Moving on here. So these photos, we have 30 of it. It came from the National Research and Archives Administration in College Park, Maryland. It was disclassified for the 75th year anniversary for the battles of Saipan in 2018.
What do we
So these are declassified photos that the military had. So these are photos from Saipan, Tinian, from the war. Yes,
supposed to be occupation people? They
during the invasion. So we revolve these pictures every year.
you have
Yes, we have more.
Huh.
they on
Um, Not as I know, but like I said, we want to digitize things, make it easier to the public.
I mean, they look really high quality. I mean, they're really crisp.
you said they were deep these look like they were new prints from film.
Yes. So we had the opening here for the exhibit, which we even have a video.
Oh,
But the researcher said that the museum gets the pictures and American Memorial Park gets the video. It's a 19-20 minute video that complements the pictures.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we listen to this? Didn't you see this video, Wesley?
if it's the one they show.
Yes,
at
an
the
American.
Western Union?
Yes. Right here is unification with the United States. So this is the covenant on how it became a part of the United States. US President Gerald Ford signed the covenant to be in political union with the United States on March 24, 1976. So March 24 here is a holiday called Covenant Day.
Oh. Now, I was here for another holiday that was just a little bit different.
What holiday is that?
I was here for July 4th.
Oh yeah, July 14th.
Yeah.
So with US President Gerald Ford signing, this is his pen that we actually used to sign.
What?
Oh, wow.
This made the NMI part of the United States.
Yes. Then in November 4, 1986, we were granted US citizenship. So November 4 here is another holiday called Citizenship Day. Then our Constitution was adopted on December 5, 1976, but we celebrated December 8 to coincide it with the island's patron saint, Our Lady of Cameron. So December 8 is another holiday called Constitution Day and a Catholic holiday.
It's a Catholic holiday too, so you just put them together.
Yes. This is Mr. Gregorio Soblan. He's the first mayor of Saipan. He is the grandfather of Gregorio Kili Sablan. He's our U.S. delegate to the Congress today.
Hmm.
And this is his desk. So I just want to tell you guys about the Sinamba flag, explain it to you guys. So you can see the lattice stone. Yes, it represents the Chamorro people. And the one with the flower, decorating, the decoration of flowers, it represents the Carolinian people. It's called marmar. Have you ever seen those marmar? Yes, on special occasions, weddings, inaugurations, graduations, anything, because it's their culture. And then the star represents the United States. The blue represents the Marianas Trench and the ocean.
What's special about the Marianas Trench?
It's the deepest trench in the world.
Deepest trench in the world. Yeah.
And we hear, and here is the World War II artifacts. Japanese siren.
Eerie.
Yes, it sounds eerie. And this, I just want to let you know that this is the surrender at Anatan Island. I don't know if you guys heard about it. There's some movie on YouTube about it. It's called Anatan. So the ships were coming here from Japan. Japanese ships coming here from Japan for the war, but the U.S. bomber plane bombed their ships. So the survivors swam to the nearest island they can find, Anatan Island, which is 70 nautical miles north of Saipan. Survivors stayed there for 6 years, not knowing the war was over. How they were found was there were two local Chamorro males that were assigned by the U.S. Navy to check on a B-29 bomber plane that crashed in Anatan Island, came from the Hiroshima bombing. So the locals reported that there was no survivors from the B-29 bomber plane, but then there were 30 Japanese on the island that didn't want to surrender. So the U.S. Navy contacted the Japanese government. The Japanese government contacted the families of the Japanese who were on the island to write letters saying to give up and everything will be okay. The letters were dropped on them and they finally surrendered on June 30, 1951. So this
Wow.
is the surrendering flag. It's made from the B-29 bomber plane parachute
Oh wow.
Whoa.
and an ironwood stick from the beach.
What? Oh my gosh, this is
When the
awesome.
Japanese surrendered, they wrapped this flag around these two guns and surrendered it to U.S. Commander Johnson.
That's gotta be the last surrender of the war.
Yes. But there's another story to this. So there were 30 Japanese people on the island. One of the 30 Japanese people on the island was a female. So there was 29 men and one female. During those years, the 10 men had to fight for her love,
Okay.
which is why only 19 men got rescued. Japanese woman saw a U.S. vessel offshore in 1950, where she asked the U.S. Navy to take her out of the island because she was tired of the guys fighting for her. So there's a movie on this on YouTube called Anatahan. I think it's a 90-minute, 80 to 90-minute movie. It's like a 1950, 1960 style
I mean, the love
movie.
story sounds like it could be a TV show,
Hmm.
ongoing miniseries.
Here we have the U.S. medical kits for the war and their personal effects.
I'm glad they put cigarettes in the medical.
Mhm.
Never know what.
So this iodine swabs and this first aid dressing were made by Johnson and Johnson. And they even have Scott tissue paper, which still exists today.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they still even use those halazone tablets until today.
How is
It's like a pill where you can drop it into the water, or like those military when they go out in the jungles.
purification?
Yes, purification tablet. But
Oh,
then there's a lot of military that came here that I toured. They told me it doesn't taste good at all, but
No.
it keeps you alive. They explained to me that they do this only in the jungles, but they don't do it like in the desert because there's no water there at all. So they have their camp and they set up water there. And Japanese medical kits and their personal equipment. So do you see that yellow substance there? It's like powdery like.
In the glass.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's called neosporin.
Oh, okay.
It's a medicine to cure syphilis, to
What?
cure different stages of syphilis.
Really?
Yes. And then right there, this small bottle here, it's just a small one right there.
Yeah.
It's called Suron. It's women's estrogen.
Oh.
So why did the Japanese military men have this? Because during the Japanese Empire, they liked to rape young women.
Oh.
They take the neosporin if they think they have stages of syphilis, and they take the Suron and inject the women by force. Moving on. So in this area, it's about the internment camps. Yes. So then we had three camps here on the island for the Japanese, Koreans, and the locals. In Tinian, there were only internment camps for Japanese and Koreans, no locals. But there were three Chinese nationals in Tinian, where there's no record of what they were doing there.
Now, does that mean that there were no locals kept in Tinian?
No.
Or they were sent here?
Yes, they were sent here. So in the camps, everyone was laborers. Anything they can find on the ground, they take it. They made all of this right here to sell it to the US military for money. You see these ironwood trees? Those ironwood trees from the ground, from the beaches, we call them ironwood trees, but it's an Australian pine tree.
Oh.
We call it ironwood because it is strong. During Super Typhoon Sodalor in YouTube, have you guys heard about that?
The last.
Yeah, the last Super Typhoon. So a lot of pine trees were down. And guess what? All of those artists, they were taking all those big logs of pine, ironwood trees to turn them into furniture, turn them into tables, chairs, anything at all.
So this was all made in the camp
Yes.
and it's going to be sold to you.
Mhm. Some of them were given as a gift to Lieutenant Grong, who was in charge of the camps in Tinian. So the wife donated Lieutenant his husband's souvenirs to the museum. Like right here, those gun shells, they turned them into, or the bullet shells, they turned them into candle vases or candlesticks. They even made ashtrays from the Japanese Zero airplane.
Oh,
Huh.
They made oil lamps too from the shells.
So they just melted down like the brass shells
Yes.
from the bullets. Huh.
Mhm. So, like here in Tinian, it's a photograph shows a mother and young children selling what they made to the camp trade store.
hmm. I guess who did it sell to?
Yeah.
Sold to soldiers.
Yes. They even made masks with coconut shells, just like this. And you can see the picture right here.
Huh.
They even made necklaces with cowrie shells.
Crabs.
Yes. Have you ever seen crabi seeds on the island?
See,
So it looks like a crabi seed. It's red and black when it's on the plant, but then when it's dried out, it's like that. So that crabi seeds, you can usually see it around the island. It's just that even in their backyard in the house, you can see it anywhere, even though you go out your house. But it's just that the super typhoons destroyed it. So it's only grown in well vegetated areas today on hikes like Lao Lao on the northern side of Saipan. And they even made belts made from tangan tangan seeds. The last is the Nesta Senora de la Conception. So we apologize. We are still upgrading this room. It's not complete yet. So this is the Conception. It's a Spanish galleon that was made in Cavite, Philippines by Chinese artisans and Filipino laborers. So the Conception, its first voyage, it left Manila Bay going to Mexico. From there on, well, they brought goods. So those goods are transported by mules going all the way to Veracruz, where those goods are transported, where there's a ship in Veracruz bound for Spain.
oh,
Yes. The ship comes back and they bring back New World silver to the Asian countries.
hmm. And what goods they were carrying?
Asian goods.
Okay.
Yes. So in the Conception's second voyage, they left Manila Bay on August 10, 1638, on typhoon season. The typhoon destroyed their sails, and the wind threw them all the way to Saipan,
Oh,
where
wow.
it sank here on September 20, 1638, at the southern tip of Saipan in Agigan Point. So in March 1987, Pacific Sea Resources, the salvage company, handpicked crew members consisting of archaeologists, divers, historians, and computer engineers. They went down there to Agigan Point and they salvaged everything what's left of the Conception, which is displayed here today at the NMI Museum.
Whole, what was recovered from the.
Yes.
Second voyage.
Yeah, second voyage. So this cannon was recovered from Nico Hotel, Saipan. Today it's called Kensington Hotel. So this was found in Nico Hotel, Saipan back in 1988 by the Pacific Sea Resources. So the wreck was in the southern side of Saipan, but they found this cannon on the northern part of Saipan.
Oh,
The Chamorros took it because they needed something metal for their tools or equipment.
what were they using?
The cannon, the Chamorros,
Yeah.
they're gonna turn them into tools for their tools.
Oh, they had not done it yet.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was a problem with this when they were making a Hotel Saipan before, that they couldn't drew what's here because the contractors before Hotel Saipan, they didn't want to give this up. They said they found something valuable, which is this. So they used the cutting tool to cut off what is here. They said it might be ruby, it might be gold, but something valuable.
Oh, well, it's just the handle for opening the cannon.
Yes,
It was made of ruby or something.
we don't know. That's why they couldn't drew what was there.
Right.
And so they even found storage jars, just like this. So the storage jars are for food, water, wine, rice, or any store for essential supplies. There are markings on them. Markings on them are of Spanish, Tagalog, or Chinese, representing its ownership, origin, and the contents in the jar. And this is when the Conception sank
Oh.
off the coast in Agigan Point. So there's a lot more things that I want to show you guys, but we're in the process of modernizing the museum, so digitizing some things.
I bet there's a lot. But
Yes.
this is a really good like tour overview.
hmm So we have projects that are coming up. We're making an exhibit in the duty-free shop in Garapan. They use the court at the local court in Suzuki. And then we're opening up an event starting September 2. It's called Street Market before, but we're calling it Fiesta Fridays.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be every Friday night.
Oh, okay. What that has to do with the museum?
Yes, it's for the community. There's gonna be vendors selling food, shirts, crafts,
Right.
and there's a program too. We're still working on it. It's a work in progress. And then there's gonna be at least 2 bouncy slides for the kids to play on.
Oh,
So it's like a community event where it's school starting, so where's the kids gonna go on Friday night? The museum. Learn about their culture and history. So then they can enjoy outside the grounds.
right.
So please bear with us as we are still modernizing the museum. We are not yet done. I hope soon we're gonna be done.
All right. So if anybody comes, they can come now, though, right?
No, actually we're closed till now.
Okay. All right.
We only open up to, how do you say this? Not like reservation, but
Right. Because I sent
just
you an email.
for, yeah.
So if anybody comes to visit, they could get in. They need to arrange it.
Not like that though.
Oh,
Just what we think is a priority.
okay. All right. So when will it be open to the public?
Couple of weeks.
That'll probably be fine. I don't think anybody can plan their vacation that quick.
Mhm.
So by the time people come, they can probably tour.
Yeah, and then once we want to open up, when we put everything up, all the panels and everything, so we can to change the visitor experience. Right. We want a wow factor.
Well, I was wowed when I walked in the door. I knew it was a historic building. I didn't expect it to be
Right.
Yeah.
nice inside. It's really pretty.
So yeah,
This was
the
an
museum.
amazing tour.
Thank you. The museum is in a position that we don't have much funding. All of our general fund goes to the maintenance of the museum because it's a 96-year-old building.
Yeah, old building. That's really well.
So we're using the ARPA funding to modernize the museum. That's about it.
Is that federal funding?
Yes.
Right. Do you guys have any questions for me?
What kind of stone did you say the oh gosh, the foundations were?
The lattice stones,
Lattice stones, yes. What kind of stone is that made from? Are those made from?
basalt or limestone, but
Okay.
mostly limestone. Yeah,
Gosh.
like, so how was this made? They carved it on the ground because basically we're a volcanic or limestone island. So they carved this on the ground, and then for this, the haligi, they pull it up with ropes. For the tasa, they made a ram with sand and they start pulling it from the other side, putting it up.
How tall were they?
It can be 9 to 15 feet high, but there's even 2 feet high, 3, 4, 5 to 16 feet.
So in the real one, is this a separate piece of stone? This part?
Yes,
Two
there's
different
two
stones
parts.
carved,
Yes.
And then they're erected. So, yes.
And the height of the stones and the height of the building sort of showed what class the people living inside of it were. Like the
Yes.
taller ones would be for the upper class.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
Wow.
the Matuas usually they made their like workstation under their houses. You can see the canoes there, or they have their meeting place, or they used it as to bury their ancestors.
Huh.
Now you said there was a modern version of these houses.
Yes, in Calavera Cave.
Is there anywhere that has some historic like models?
Yes, in Lao Lao Bay.
A lot, but
Yes, but that no one really touches it. They just go to take pictures and give respect. So if you see a lattice stone though, do not step on the capstone, like right here, because it's disrespectful because you can get sick. So anything that's ancient Chamorro, just don't touch it at all because you can get sick. Yeah, or you need to go to a Sirawano or Sirawana, like a spiritual doctor to heal you.
oh,
Oh. Now was that case the also the case in when they were the primary inhabitants of the islands? Like if you touch somebody else's lattice stones, like it was bad luck?
None of that. It just depends on your intention.
Okay. Okay.
Like if you were to bring that lattice stone to your house, then I guess you would get sick.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna like sing to it or like talk to it, then that'll be fine.
Okay. Huh.
Right. Just don't disrespect like the land and like stomp all over it like
Well, yeah, I
anybody
mean,
from the States would.
Oh yes.
wow.
these remind me very much of the Aboriginal peoples of Vietnam homes built up off the ground like this.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of these. Is it common in the Philippines too?
Yes. So everywhere around the Asian countries or everywhere around the world, they have their style of like having those foundations. But this lattice stone is very, very unique
Right,
because of
that
its
part.
tasa.
Yeah,
And basically everyone has this, but they don't have this.
right. That part is.
Yes. That
Well,
what
is it unique?
represents
Is it
us.
all over the Marianas?
Yes, it is.
I'm always amazed when you talk about people centuries and millennia ago who are able to carve and move those huge stones just with like ropes and stuff like
Yes.
that. It's amazing that what people have been able to accomplish all, with just their bare hands, but almost.
And tools they made from volcanic rock or limestone.
Yeah.
It was like we were talking about fishing. Like the major advance is that metal hook.
Hmm.
That's what changed it. It's an ingenious way to catch fish to do with the coconut once you have the metal hook. Yeah. All right. Well, if there's anything else, we'd love to see it, and maybe when come back, see what the
Yeah.
issues are.
Hmm.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much for
much.
this. Yeah. This was really great. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Archie.
You're welcome.
Definitely. Thank you.
And
I
anyone
really
viewing this in the future when the museum is back up, do you want to tell them anything about coming to the museum? Is it good for tourists?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be learn something about the
yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll put a link to the museum's website and
Or the Facebook page.
Facebook. Okay. Make both. All right. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks again. This really was great.
Can we walk around and look anymore?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Great.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.
You too.
You too. Wow.
Y'all, I was
Yeah,
trying
pretty
not
cool,
to
right?
fangirl over the stones because that was so cool.
Thanks so much. You're trying not to fangirl? You totally should have, yeah.
No, I didn't want to, because I already went like off the rails, all excited about the fish and things. I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like an old, like, okay, that's a big bobber thing. We used to put bait in the top of this bobber thing to catch fish, but it was like bass fishing. Obviously, it wasn't. It was just like minnows or dead fish smelling stuff. Anyway, I thought that was neat. But come on, a femur fashioned into a spear.
Right?
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
that was cool, right? Let's go back
And
and look at
they
that.
use like the bones of their enemies. I was like, this
Yes!
is
I was like, oh my God. When he got to the head, I was like, is this an effigy? I was thinking, holy crap, this is awesome. But yeah, that was that forensic part too. That is so cool right there, man.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I
that's neat, right?
refrained from making a joke how I was the lowest class on there. Mine would be the 2-foot high house.
Well,
That's-
you know, if you need to
I
freaking
mean-
pass, I don't see how you get into this one. Maybe they just left it off and it's a ladder because the other one has a water. And I'm
Now,
wondering
how
if
did
you
he
just
say
use
the
it-
place is getting funded?
Well,
ARPA?
there you go. It's not ARPA. That's not right. I don't know. It's a federal program. I don't remember what the acronym was. If they're on PayPal, I'll totally put their link at the top of my.
Right.
Like a donate
Right.
link? Yeah.
Yeah, donate link. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's another thing where he was showing the sling, basically, and one was to throw the stone from far away, and when he said the other one's for close up, I was going to say that's for mollywopping, but I didn't do it. I was like, you did so good, Erica. I was like, don't freak this guy out. He's being awesome.
yeah,
he's right.
this may be, I mean, I'm not trying to toot our own horn because I mean, obviously we didn't do much this time talking and entertaining and stuff, but this may be one of our best episodes yet. I mean, this was I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very informative, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look how intricate all that stuff is right there. It's a little dollhouse. I love it.
Well, now that's that's probably for plants and things to grow up.
Oh, like a trellis
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see the dirt? Yeah.
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 Because he talked
you
about
see
how they use that area for like, well, obviously they're using it there for storage. Look at that.
Right.
On
I
that
remember seeing it.
shelves and stuff. There's a little swing for the kiddos, I guess. Look at that.
love
Like
it.
practical, yeah.
Or
I
for
wonder
me,
too.
I love swings.
I wonder if there's two different time periods. This is anywhere from 800 to 1700 is this one.
Oh, wait, look. Okay, so is that the front? But what about on that other side? Maybe there's a ladder on the other side. They didn't want people going in that front part.
Well, let's
Where they
see.
kept all their spears. Look at that.
I think they just left it off.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, maybe they go in through the back door there.
They can also be made to go up through the middle. That's why I mentioned the one in Vietnam because it just reminds me a lot of it.
Can barely hear you.
Oh,
I heard it's similar to the stuff in Vietnam. This what did they put their homes on there?
what did they put their homes on?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like how it was like in the water, or what are you saying? How? Because remember how we saw in Malaysia how they had the jetties and they had all the stuff built up from the water up, and then everything was on top of that. What were you saying?
yeah.
Similar to Vietnam?
No, it was nothing. It was nothing like that in Vietnam. It was much more like this, where the homes were built up off the ground. I don't remember if they had stones at all, but it wasn't done like the lat stone.
Yeah, that always gets me. That just how, I don't know, just the ingenuity of ancient peoples to be able to carve and move that kind of those kind of really heavy single piece. I mean, those, like you said, those are like two pieces.
Yeah, these are two pieces, which is even more difficult because you had to write. You had to write the long one so it stands up, and then get the other on top, or somehow erect them both at the same time, but still keep them together so they don't fall apart.
Yeah, because that's what he was saying. Like they built like a ramp basically with sand to get the top stone on there. Like what it was called, the Taga or something. I can't remember the term he used.
You guys heard it actually better than I did because I was hearing double.
Because like
a lot of stuff I missed.
Because like the two parts of the stones, they even got their own. Each part has its own like name, and that's so neat.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it became like a very important part of the culture because this would have kept your home from washing away during a typhoon.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like you said. It was so important. They put it as on their flag.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah. That flag was really interesting too because it had both of like sort of the. Obviously, one was there, but one group was there before the other. But like the indigenous peoples, like both groups were represented on there, and all that was great. Now, Wesley, where do those flowers? Are those worn or
around the head? Yeah.
They're worn around the head. Okay, neat.
Yeah.
Oh, I found out what the pieces of it were because it's the Lati stone, that whole thing. But it's Haligi is the base, and the top is the Tassa.
Tassa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's so.
I don't see any pictures of that, but you see people here, wearing them. I don't want to say all the time; that would be an exaggeration. But you see somebody wearing it, once every few days because they've had something to celebrate. Maybe they came from a birthday party or something. Mm-hmm. But you'll see it in the grocery store at an office or something. And they'll have He said that was Carolinian, so that shows who's who, I guess. Let you know who's in what group.
Yeah, and I thought it was great that it was like the German guy who was like, "No, y'all need to desegregate." Basically, like y'all need to get together and.
Yeah, but he like formed a police force to do it. I was thinking that's the most like German thing to do. It's like here's a police force. You join together to screw other people over and go for it. And then he knew that's the way to do it.
Eric, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that's not true of all police forces.
Right. Wait, yeah. I want to say, I only have this from a U.S. standpoint. Also, over there, where when he mentioned the syphilis stuff and the raping the women, I like refrained from talking about. Well, I'm glad they're all dead then, the bastards. But I mean, that's horrible.
Well, I'm glad. That was horrible.
Yeah, and I didn't want to say anything either because I thought it would come off as like crass, but. You look at the stuff that was made in this room, basically, like all these things, like a lot of it looks really like it's amazingly well made, but it's just like, oh, you got to remember the circumstances, and it's like, oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it makes the workshop takes the fun out of it. True,
right?
But the workshop is all the more amazing.
The women were the ones doing it, and I imagine that the women were the ones doing a lot of this work right here.
All making
did you see that there was something very similar? Go back to that the other one that had the little flowers the other side to the left of you.
Those dolls.
The flower dress.
Yeah, I saw something kind of like that when you were walking in. Do you remember? Like there was a little outfit that was kind of like that up at the front. They had some of a dress like that when you were about to come into the place, but I didn't want to stop him because he had gone past it somewhere.
When we walked in. We can walk back that way, but I didn't want to leave this without asking if either you wanted to comment on this this situation. I didn't know what to ask, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wanted to thank him like a million times anyway. I was like, oh my God, this was so cool.
Yeah.
Great job. Like very good explanations of everything. And also again, did you hear him say they're only going to open it for like special occasions or, for something important? Wesley, we're important. He was so sweet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or we fooled someone into thinking we are.
Well, wait, I had a question about the Japanese soldiers that were trapped on that island too. By the way,
Okay.
so he said,
want to ask me?
well, no. I just want to point something out. So he said
Okay.
the one lady that was with him,
Mhm.
and I liked how he kept it real like G-rated and was like they were fighting for her love.
Right.
And then he goes over and is like, this is the date rape drug
Right.
that was standard
no,
issue.
that right there, when he was saying, no, get this, that estrogen, he meant that they were giving that to little girls to rape them, like to make them ready. Yeah, that's some nasty shit. That's different than the woman who was like, yeah, I'm gonna get away from here with my man because these other guys.
I thought I had misunderstood.
Uh,
But yeah, no, it was I think he said like they didn't surrender until 1951, but she got out of there in 1950. Like she flagged down a boat or something and was like, I need to get out of here. These guys are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, I was like, well, they didn't ask her like, well, why are you trying to leave the island, ma'am? No reason. No reason.
No reason.
She didn't tell him about the like 30, well now 19 guys that are back there.
Yeah, apparently 10 of them got murdered.
Remember, I found those. Well, not I found them, but they had Japanese caves where people were hiding out in them. I don't even know when I started to look. It was when we went to the jail, and I started looking up things, and I found those people were hiding, were the kind of the remnant families. There was like a whole family living in a cave somewhere.
I liked that there was a whole secret part of the island that the Japanese had put up.
Right. The guy brought him a map of it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
We didn't know this was there.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Were you just at Earhart? Yeah. I was just wait.
All this has been a million Earhart stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The stuff about, Earhart was there.
In the jail. Why'd they put her in the jail? Was she flying during the war? Is that what happened? Oh, we can't go in there.
Oh, that's the one we can't go in.
Yeah. The only thing they didn't want us to show was the stuff that has, I don't know, I guess somebody has some kind of rights to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it is. Not that there would be some kind of damage to the artifact. It's some kind of
right. And they have the pictures here. They have the rights to that. But that video and the stuff that we heard with the, with the interesting information, especially the thing about the rosary bead, if you don't recall, from the what was that? The visitor center? Is that where they have the video?
Mm-hmm. Right. That was the visitor center at the national park.
Right.
Thing. Yeah. So we'll go back to the pictures there, because that was another important thing. So this was these were taken, he said, during the invasion, but they seem to span. They've got dates on them. We can just look. July 1944. Oh dear.
40.
Okay.
I think the war was still going on in that.
Right. So the war was still going on in this. Well, I mean, it's not. This is after Americans arrived on the island. Post invasion.
Yeah. See, this right here is the way this picture is made, very reminiscent of me thinking about that guy saying they knew they were good because they had a rosary kind of thing.
Well, so they just get just on the edge of things might not be great, but you can tell it was released with the same intent. They were declassified, but I guarantee you they left classified a lot of pictures that were not so nice.
Right. Because there's one, see if you can find it, where they're walking and there's one man that looks very distressed to me. That one. that man. He does not look like, you know.
He's Japanese though, so they never look happy.
God.
Just a joke.
Well, he's Japanese. He just lost the war for this.
Right, I was gonna say he's
Right,
not
so he's
happy.
not going to be happy.
He's
Right.
not going to be happy.
He's like, I just lost the war and I didn't even get a shirt.
I didn't even get a shirt. That's a family surrendering.
I'm telling you, I wonder if that is what look back there in the upper left, like, or were they living underneath something over there? Is that one of those families? Do you see what I'm talking about? I found a picture of one of the cave dwelling families that were there, a Japanese family. Yeah, I want the PayPal for this place. Like, I want to send him a little gift certificate to a restaurant to be like, thanks, man. This was fun. Also, I want to
Great.
I'm like way too into that femur bone.
Well, he said they were made of bone, and I'm like, okay, there's one of two possibilities.
Uh-huh.
They're either using the bones of their ants. Oh, I'll come back to that point.
One of 88 Buddha statues that were once erected on a trail from Chalan Galade, leading to, I think it means they meant trail.
Yeah.
Leading to Mount Tapachao, during the Japanese administration in northern Marianas Islands. The bottom writings states Yashima Temple. It's believed that it was made in Uwashima City in Shikoku.
So I figured either it's the bones from their ancestors, and they're like, our ancestors are with us and watching over us, and as we hunt and do battle and stuff, or, which is cool, or it's the bones of your enemies.
It was an ancient Chamorro Dalek.
This is Japanese.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, but I'm just like, no. But yeah, then he mentioned that they had to hide their relatives' bodies so they wouldn't be used to make those. He's like, yeah.
Right. Because your enemies would get your relatives and shame you.
Wow. Yeah. I wonder what some of the belief was behind all that. That stuff's interesting to me.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if we'll get a better any more detail on that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's a place on the island to do that.
I don't know what's more intimidating. I mean, come on. It's like I'm about to kill you with your granny's femur or, grandpa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's a different kind of awesome if it's the bones of your enemies being used.
But it's still pretty awesome. Different kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's just different. Yeah. Well, no, this was great. I'm really glad that they agreed to do the tour and stuff.
Oh yeah, it has been great. It's been wonderful, and I'm eager to come back and see it after it's
yeah.
After it.
Can you find that little textile? There's some type of fabric or dress like that. I don't know where that was when he started to walk in.
When we first walked in, I'm at the entrance now, so and
then he's turned around and talked. I don't know, it's hanging up, and it's turn around,
turn around.
I don't see any fabric hanging up near the entrance.
It was maybe it was further down. I know there's clothing. There's just one. It was just one article of clothing. And
now I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because look down from that. Yeah, look, see? Like,
this is Carolinian.
Right. So what?
But
the Japanese.
They don't.
Oh, go ahead.
They don't have anything describing it.
Right, but remember how, okay, because Carolinians were there before the Japanese, right? So all of this stuff that was left over, remember he was saying that they made the stuff, the Japanese people were making the stuff out of things they found. So did they find this and then make those other things?
Oh.
This kind of stuff. That's what I was wondering. But I wasn't I was not about to like get all over this man and ask him every single question ever like I'm a 5-year-old, because I was about to like, I'm like,
I mean, I think that would have been good. I think, yeah, you were interested in it.
I also had to hold myself back from doing that because I wanted to ask him about, a bunch of stuff. I was like, no, just be cool.
Just be
also,
cool.
I did not say cool so much, but I was like, oh, wow, cool. I was like, cool. Nope, don't say cool all the time, Erica. Cool. But it's cool.
I think you could have asked him. He would have liked that.
And he also agreed with me that people would have disrespected and stomped on it because they were from the States. So,
oh, yeah. If they had a lot of visitors from the States here, they'd have to put rope around it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Everything would have to be behind plexiglass.
Yep.
Well, let's go see the outside of the building because I want to get that in before we're done here. Because the building itself is historic as well.
Also,
yes,
this
it was the
color
hospital.
here is really pretty. I love what they did with the halls there.
Isn't
Yeah,
it nice?
it looks great.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell him thanks more. I just wanted to say thank you again. It was just going to be the.
Oh.
What?
Giving it to me? Oh, thank you very much. Wow.
Oh, I love him.
That's great. Wow.
Wow, that's really generous.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just a book about it. It's a photo book, I think. Photo book. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, neat.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. No, you wouldn't want to put the gold on display. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Nice. Wow, that's wonderful. Is this going to be the gift shop? Oh, okay. All right. This is the stuff that'll be in the gift shop, wherever it is. Okay. Cool.
Pacific Ghosts. 2011.
They were saying they were holding back from asking questions, and I said you should have asked.
No, I'm a big dork. It would have extended this by an hour.
Yeah, it would have been like children asking questions. What's that? What does it do? Where did it come from?
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh. Right. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Oh, cool. That'll be great. You're right, yeah. You guys should think about doing an audio tour. People love those.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay, that person looks cool.
Yeah, it would be a lot of different languages, I imagine. Just here on the island, there's several. Yeah, that's cool. All right, great. Thanks again. Thanks so much. Oh.
So you could link for
Okay, I'll put the links in the description for the museum and the Facebook, and I'll put that on there.
And what's his entire name? It's Archie what?
Cool. Oh, yeah, what's your last name, Archie? Ahoste.
You should ask him if they're hiring.
Right.
Oh, they ain't got no
Okay,
money.
great. Cool.
I guess I ain't got the money. Yeah. It'd just be
Okay.
cool to work in a museum.
All right.
Oh,
Thanks.
no.
Thanks
Oh,
again.
wait.
All right.
Did you see, Scott? There's this other place that he's going to apply to. He might have already, where there's a place there where people swim with stingrays, and they need someone to help with the animals there with the stingrays and the
Oh,
and stuff.
I applied for a job at the Ellis Museum one time. That'd be cool to work there.
Oh, by the way, Sablon, the delegate there for the House of Representatives over here, he is the only Chamorro member of Congress. He's also a Democrat. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. My glasses fogged up. It was ice cold in there, y'all. Part of me wanted to stay all day, and part of me was freezing.
Oh, no, I don't know. That looked like very comfy. I was,
Yeah.
No.
because when you were outside, I was sweating vicariously through you. And not in the best way. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die already. And I'm not even out there.
I was dripping wet when I walked in, and it wasn't even hot. Honestly, it was not hot. It's just so humid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Once that sweat can't dissipate and evaporate, you're screwed. It's like, nope, I'm here to stay.
Dissipate and evaporate. He said that might be the. Sorry, that might become the gift shop.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be nice. Let's take a look, and then we'll also be in it.
Look, I love it. He was such a nice man.
He was very nice. This has got to be a $40 book if it's anything.
Right, that's a
God.
nice book.
Yeah. You should put a link to that like on a bookseller site or something. Or like a
Right.
site or something if you get a chance.
I'm gonna look up that
Okay.
movie about that lady on YouTube.
Oh yeah, he said he sent me the link, so I'll post that in the
Oh, we
description.
did. Good.
Oh,
Actually-
wow.
Actually,
Man,
I can do.
he's awesome. What's
He's-
his last
he's
name though?
cool.
Archie what?
Let me pull it out. Don't get it wrong. Ahoste.
Look.
AJ. Oh
Oh.
Ahoste. Okay.
yeah.
Archibald Ahoste is the coolest freaking name too, by the way.
You can
It's a
see-
wonderful name.
You can see it still looks like the old hospital.
It looks like a hospital, right?
Well, I mean, like you can. Well, no, I mean you can still see the old building, the old.
Yeah,
part
they've
of the
done a
building.
good job
Yeah.
of preserving the architecture,
Yeah.
but updating it and
Yes.
modernizing it. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. They did. You can't tell it from the street, but it's really nice. And also, this is the backside because this is the courtyard. So let's walk around to
What is up
to
with
the
these
other side.
wearing cool stuff around there? What are they wearing?
She like a
What were they wearing?
Over there, like right there was a neat hat wearing person over there. Oh, what?
Oh, he's the groundskeeper.
Oh, I was wondering why someone was wearing some cool stuff.
I thought, are they keeping bees out there? What's
I
that?
know.
Is there an apiary nearby? Yeah, that's again a really good episode, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. May have walked to the other end. It was like I was turned around. I think I went on the wrong end of the parking lot. That's all right. We can walk
Oh,
down
yeah,
there.
this
It's not
is-
that big.
This is definitely employee parking.
It's such a small island. It's just people's homes across the street. Oh no, they might have a wall knocking where we can't see that part. And also, it might not be. This was the old main entrance.
Uh-oh. You just stirred up somebody's dogs.
I think they're both on chain. No, one of them's not on a chain. He's coming after me.
Wesley's gonna start running faster. We're gonna see them.
Can you guys even see over this wall, or are you just looking at the
A
wall?
little bit, yeah.
I can see a little bit over it, but it looked like you got a little pep to your step when that freaking dog.
I was gonna say I'm watching it to see how fast it's going by.
I know.
You're not supposed to
Hi.
be here. Who are you?
No pictures.
No pictures. Yeah, no, you can't see that side of the building. You can all see it from the inside. Okay, never mind.
Oh, what is wrapped around it? What's going
You
on?
were at the front of the building.
Well, it is the front now, yes, but it used to face
right.
the other direction. They put this wall up, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Keep out the
Recently.
dogs.
To keep up with dogs.
You don't want dogs at your museum.
Well, it's a dog museum.
Well, I guess that's true.
Okay, so this is the old entrance, and that was what the wall is in front of now, so they
Yeah,
can't see it.
and it had corrugated tin over it.
It did.
Yeah, seemed if that was the entrance. Yeah, the old entrance.
Okay. I mean, I'll trust you because I was running from the dog.
Yeah, I know.
I did not take notes as we went by.
That's fine.
Well, let's see. Let's point it this way. In 1925, the Japanese South Seas government began construction of a modern hospital in Garapan village. It was built at the site of the former German hospital that had been established in 1911. When the new hospital opened its doors in 1926, it was among the best medical facilities in the Western Pacific. It was staffed by a doctor and a team of Japanese local nurses and technicians and offered a full range of modern medical services. Continued serving the public until the island was captured by American forces in June 1944. After the war, the hospital, which had escaped major damage during the Battle for Saipan, was abandoned and later became a popular tourist attraction. In 1996, work commenced to renovate the hospital to serve as the NMI Museum of History and Culture. The museum, which opened in 1998, offers its patrons informative exhibits that cover more than 3,000 years of local history. The museum is a must-see for anyone interested in the history and cultures of the Northern Marianas Islands. I would agree with that.
I also refrained from saying anything because I didn't want to make it a part of that because it was about the building. But when he mentioned that the Japanese would not allow them to speak their language then, that was the 40s, okay? When the U.S. stepped in, the U.S. said, you also can't have a Chamorro English dictionary. You can't speak this. If you do and you try and teach your children this, if we find out, you're fined and, whatever else happens. And until the 70s, when Ford signed everything with them, they weren't allowed to speak. And then they were finally allowed to speak again. That's why only 3,300 people speak Chamorro in the world.
Right.
That's too bad.
Well, didn't we see though when we went to the American Park? I'm sorry, not see. You were looking it up and telling us that the Americans started that policy in something like 1917.
Oh, right. Well, no, wait. There was like little back and forth. Remember, because the other people were settled there anyway. So it's just It went from they weren't allowed to speak their language then due to whoever was there, and then when the U.S. stepped in. They're like, oh, great, good. You're getting rid of the Japanese. And then they're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, in 1917, that was it still the Germans?
Hold on, honey. Yeah, it was the 70s is when they were allowed to speak, but it was the 40s. Whenever it was the late 40s, obviously, when the U.S. was there, all the way. So about 30 years, they didn't let them. That was just the U.S. not letting them speak their own language.
But the U.S. didn't own the island before.
Yes, they started the policy before it was officially part of the U.S. was what we found.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the Germans had it before the Japanese.
The Germans got it after World War I, right? Isn't that right? No. The Japanese got it after World War I.
I don't remember. I know that.
Here, I'll pull it up. I've got it right here.
The U.S. got the islands from Spain after the
Spanish-American War,
and then they sold it to Germany.
Sold it to the Germans, right? Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was following that. Okay.
Yes.
At the No Chamorro policy of 1917. And let me find out where that was. Here it is. It says, in 1917, Naval Government Executive General Order number 243 banned speaking Chamorro and designated English as the only official language of Guam and ordered that Chamorro must not be spoken except for official interpreting. Because they were in Guam. So, and then you heard about how a lot of Chamorro went to Guam and then came back over to Saipan. You hear him talking about that. So there was a lot of displacement and then repression. There you go. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Colonizers.
Well, guys, I'm going to wrap up this episode because my phone battery is dead. I'm not really sure. Let's see, what are we at? We're almost 2 hours. Okay, that's one of our longer ones. So that explains it. And also because we got another one coming up on Friday. Does anybody remember what we're doing on Friday?
No, I didn't even know what we were doing today, and this was a treat.
It was good, wasn't it? Yeah. I got a book out of it. I can't believe that. It was his tour was really nice. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I was very happy with that. I'm going to look and see if they're on any sort of, PayPal allows you to do charity things, and but it has to be on their list of charities. They got a long list, but it's a small museum, and so I'm not sure it'll be on there. But if it is, I'll put it on the top of the YouTube banner, the bottom of the banner. Sorry, the top of the page.
I've got on my calendar 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday the 27th.
Are you ready?
On Saturday?
That's what my calendar says, but we can talk about that, later if that's not right.
If you're looking at it, you're right. I just thought it was Friday, so maybe it's next Sunday. It'll be Sunday for me.
Oh, okay.
Saturday for you. Okay, so that makes sense. I mean, I don't doubt that's correct. Thank you for letting me know, though, because I had it in my head that it was happening on Friday. And what does it say we're doing?
Garapan Central Park.
It's across the street, guys. This island is so small, but I'm looking at it right now.
Hey!
It may be a short episode. It looks nicer than I thought it was going to from the shots online, but also it doesn't have the history of Sugar King Park, but it is the central park of the island. So
Bella Sugar King too. He's from LSU, y'all.
Well, there you go. You want
Yeah.
sugar? Ask Louisiana. Okay, great. And right there at the top of the YouTube page is where the charity link for the island is going to be. Find a donate tab, and it may just be a more general fund, U.S. fund for museums or something. I don't know, but I'll do a little research and find out what's up there. That seems like a really cool thing to do. Maybe it won't do anything for them, but if it does, that'll be great. And also, of all the things to do on the island, if you want to learn about Saipan, you want to learn about the Marianas Islands, you want to learn about Chamorro culture, this is a good place to do it. Like I've said before, we don't do a lot of museums on the show, and it's because they don't always turn out to be, an episode worth watching. But boy, I think this one did.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I think this was a good one. Yeah, it's good. And if you want to get to the channel, right up there on the banner is also the Patreon for our channel, Untethered. And also my Twitter and my Instagram, if you want to follow me and just see what I'm doing, what's going on. I haven't posted a lot because we've slowed down since we've been here in Saipan, but I'll still post occasionally. And if we speed back up, I'll speed up the posts. So anything else you guys want to say before we tune out?
No. I'm fangirling Archibald Ahoste. What a cool name. That was
It is a cool name. A cool guy too. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Good tour. Yeah, I liked it. All right. Well, what are we going to say until next time? Travel untethered. What do you think about that?
I think
Anything?
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, travel untethered. And thanks to you guys too. For being here and commenting. We had a guest today, so it wasn't so much work on your part. I hope you enjoyed the the break.
No, it was kind of a little fun activity for us. I think I really liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. This is a good one. I enjoyed it. Okay, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, travel untethered.
Bye.
Jag sitter och de här kommer då 3 personer som tar över. Jag är med sig